Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Psychology Eats. So, what's eating you? How is everyone doing? I hope everyone is good. And if you're not, fix it. That's all. Fix it. Um, you read the thumbnail. Well, you saw the thumbnail. And today, I'm just talking about new money versus old money. So let me describe it. Let me explain what I mean by new money versus old money. So, new money is when, as a family unit, going back a couple of generations, your family lived a poor middle class lifestyle. You had a house, you had the bare necessities, you had food. Like you lived a middle class, nice little lifestyle a couple of generations back. You did, you do, your mama, your grandmama, and most of your family. You know, that's an average lifestyle. But then let's just say, you hit, hold on. Ugh. She be doing too much with them bells. But anywho, conditioning the brain of the children. I'll talk about that in another video. Um, but then all of a sudden, in your generation, let's say my kid does something and all of a sudden becomes a millionaire. My kid becomes a multi-millionaire. Now, he's come from a middle class background. And so, him becoming a millionaire would be new money. New money. So, then how, and then we'll talk about what I've observed, in the past 5-6 years of this new wealth that people have created through social media. So, becoming a millionaire based off of social media. So I've only been really kind of in the game and watching and being a content creator in the last 3 years. And so maybe I've been on, not really watching people. I didn't know people were making this much money. Certain content creators were making a tremendous amount of money until maybe, like, during the pandemic a few years ago. And that's when I was, oh, damn, they could make that kind of money. But okay, back to my example. So if my son became a millionaire, he would be considered new money because he didn't come from wealth, right? He came from a middle class background. So that's new money. So then you have old money. Old money is like you are wealthy, but you grew up wealthy and the wealth goes back generations. So then I would be wealthy. My parents were wealthy. My grandparents were wealthy. So in the black community, we don't have too many families that have old money because we go back 4 or 5 generations. We hit slavery. And so there was no wealth in slavery. And so for most of us black folks with money, they created this old money during like emancipation. If they didn't lose it, through the white man robbing them, stealing, killing, and all that. So for most of us black folks, we don't have the history of having old money. Now, if you go back prior to slavery, yeah, some of us came from kings and queens. And so there was so much wealth, and there still is a lot of wealth in Africa that we could tie back to. But for the sake of this argument, and let me get to the point, how people spend new money. I can always see it when somebody has new money, especially because when we get new money, oftentimes we start to buy elaborate things, things that before we couldn't afford. Is there anything wrong with that? No. It's your money. You could spend it the way you want. But in the generations that are, I would say, 40 and under, are more like out the box. Like, you know, I just got paid $1 million. I'm going to buy a $60,000 Lamborghini. Like, what? Why would you do that? You got $1 million. You're gonna have to pay tax. Like, the thought process of building on wealth is not there when you see people with this new money buying these expensive things. And we've seen this story so many times where people get this new wealth and blow through it, and then they're right back in the same predicament that they were in. Now, although I know I didn't come from wealth, growing up understanding money in a way, even though my parents kept money private between them, it wasn't anything discussed with the children, but we were told and were taught that you didn't brag about things that you got. You didn't make a big issue out of things that you got. I grew up in a predominantly black middle class neighborhood. All of our parents were hard workers. They worked. Some families had more than others. We always had new cars. We had new boats. We had campers. We had dirt bikes. We had motorcycles. We had those things. Was I allowed to brag about it, boast about it? No. And although we didn't have social media back then, I don't believe I would have even done it then just because of the way I was taught. Now, my thought process is I'm not trying to give the robber, the killer, and the thief, I'm not trying to help you see nothing, especially on social media. Oh, I just got a new Lamborghini. I just paid such and such for this. I have this new bag. It cost $100,000. It's like, do you want people to oops? Oh, bad example. That hurt. You want people to oops upside your head and steal everything you got? That's part of the reason why I'm like, oh my God. So you so new money. Old money would never. Old money would never flaunt their money in a way that and make videos about, oh, it's just crazy to me. Only because I know I'm not from the generation of today. Like back in the day, we would never anybody over 50, 60, you would never. You would just never. Bye, y'all.
Eating you. Psychology Eats is here to help you. What's eating you?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.